I'll start today's class. It is more than about 50 participants are there. I'll start. I'll go through what we did before. Okay, that is for a revision class insert. Okay, it is a revision class insert. Okay, now we before did about on Friday we did about previous activities and events. Okay, and while talking about previous activities and events, we used two different structures. That is past perfect continuous tense and past perfect tense. Past perfect continuous tense for previous activities and past perfect tense for what previous events. Okay, we did our the use of past perfect tense in 3.2. There was the topic about previous events only. Okay, we also did about past perfect tense there as well. Okay, now here example will be asked. Okay, and structure here we have I have given you two or three different structures using past perfect tense and past perfect continuous tense. Out of these two or three examples, you can do only one example will be given in the examination, and you do accordingly. Okay, accordingly. So you have to see the example question in the exam, and whether activity is given there or event is given there, you find yourself and you provide your answer accordingly. Okay, and the structure is certainly question is question, the given sentence in the question is the given sentence, and now the structures are subject plus had been plus before plus object, that is past perfect continuous tense, and subject plus had plus with three subject plus that this is what this is past perfect tense. Okay, out of these two you have to write only one answer according to the example given. Okay, now we did about make the conversation as it is shown in the example. We also did about this. Okay, now eventually Richard found a job that suited him. We made two different structures. That is, A says the question itself, and B says that is he had been looking for a job for 2 years. Okay, that's why, and he had worked in many private institutions, and nobody had helped him to get the job, and finally or eventually he found a job that suited him. Okay, we did this as well. And we also talked about when the Johnsons eventually got away on holiday, they felt they really deserved it. We make only one sentence in the examination, whether it may be past perfect tense or what past perfect continuous tense. Okay, most of the time, past perfect continuous tense will be asked from here, past perfect continuous tense, because past perfect tense we talked about that tense in our 3.2. Okay, so and when the Johnsons eventually got away on holiday, they felt that they really deserved it. The question itself. Okay, and let's say B says here. What does B say then? Okay, they had been looking for the best season to go on holiday. Okay, and they had visited more places than they had planned. Okay, they had planned to visit some 2 or 3 places, but they visited more places. Okay, more places than they had really planned. Okay, and they had been working overtime for a long time. They had been working overtime for a long time. That's why when the Johnsons eventually got away on holiday, they felt they really deserved it. Okay, in this way, you have to keep your answer either using a present perfect tense, a past perfect tense, or past perfect continuous tense. Okay, and let's by the time the climbers reached the top of the mountain, they were exhausted. Okay, they were very much tired. They reached at the top of the mountain. Okay, at that time, okay, eventually, or by that time, they were very much exhausted. Okay, so the question is itself, and they had been climbing the mountain for 2 hours. That's why they were very much exhausted. Okay, Asma, do you have any problem?
No, sir.
No, no. Okay. Are you listening to my voice clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, that is good then. Uh, And now so she says they had been carrying their bags. Okay, they had been carrying their bags while climbing the mountain. That's why they were very much tired. Okay, and they hadn't eaten anything since morning. For example, that's why they became very much exhausted. Okay, in this way, you had to give your answer. Okay, you have to you did the answers in that way. Okay, and before. Okay, now I'll like to go to your homework answers. Okay, what how did you do your answer? Now you'll now tell your answer, please. It was highly surprising that Anthony painted.
She had been suffering.
A. A.
Okay,
What? It was hardly surprising that Anthony faint. B.
okay,
He had been suffering from
uh,
fever. C.
okay,
He had been working in the sun.
okay. You have been working in the Sean. Okay, in that way, you can let's say give your answer. Okay, very good. Okay, you have let's say put forward very good answer that you can say. It was hardly surprising that Anthony fainted. Okay, fainted. Okay, yes, yes, sir. Now, so B says that she had been suffering from acute fever. Okay, she had got acute fever more than 100 degree. Okay, so more than 100. Okay, degree per night. Okay, she had been suffering from acute fever that you can see. Okay, in the first one, it is past perfect continuous tense, and she had been walking in the sun for an hour. Okay, you can say she had got acute fever, and she had been walking in the sun for an hour. Okay, that's why it was highly surprising. It is not a matter of surprising that Anthony fainted. See, let's say fainted. It is not a matter of surprise. And only faint when you चाहिँ surprise थिएन किनकि why? Because she had been suffering from acute fever and she had been walking in the sun for an hour, walking in the sun. Okay, and let's say she had not taken medicine till then. Okay, she had not taken medicine. She had been walking in the sun for an hour and she had been suffering from acute fever. Okay, that's why it is not surprising that she has fainted. Okay, in this way you have to give your answer was correct. Okay, no matter whether you write he or she there, because we don't know about the gender of a foreign names. Okay, even in our in Nepali names of people, okay, we become confused sometimes. Okay, whether Gita can be he, Gita can be she. Okay, we have let's say found. We have Durga can be he, Durga can be she. Okay, that's why that he or she doesn't make a so difference in the examination. Eh? Okay. Uh, okay. Now next one is Bibin side with relief. Okay, I would like to hear your answer first. Okay, Bibin side with relief. Okay, he was very much tired. Okay,
She
you
had
were
facing a job. She had been facing a
She
problem
had been facing a
for a long
problem.
time.
She had been working for a long time.
okay. Okay, she had been working for a long time. Okay, that's why she had got certain problem. Okay, and the problem was solved, and this suicide with relief. Okay, in this way that you can also give your answer. Okay, your answer is based on the structure. Your answer is based on the meaning of the question as well. Okay, you can also give your answer in this way. Okay, begin side with relief. Okay, now you can say Nabi says she had been working for a long time. Okay, she had been working for a long time. It let's say has been very much long time that she has been working. Okay, she had been working for a long time. That's why she tried with relief. Now she doesn't have to do the work anymore. Okay, that's why she tried with relief. Okay, now you can say she had been facing problems for a long time. Okay, she had been facing problems for a long time. Okay, she had got many problems for a long time. While working, she had got she happened to come different, let's say, problems. She had faced different problems. Okay, and now say she had settled all her problems. Finally, she had settled all her problems. That's why Bibin sighed with relief. I finished my work. I got the job done, she said. Okay? Okay, in this way. सुस्केर हाल्यो भने के विभिन्न side with relief. होइन एकदम आनन्द भएर सुस्केर हाल्यो. Okay, in this way that you have to give your answer. Okay, your answers were also correct. Okay, you can make some changes if you want, otherwise you were also correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Then it was your homework questions, and they were your homework questions, and this slide is of homework question. Now I like to move to the next one. Okay, next one that is also very much important one. It is not so much important from this part is not so much important from examination point of view, but from in our daily lives we have to use such expressions much for knowledge purpose. It is very much important. Okay, now let's do about the next one, additional information. Okay, this unit is also a bit more important. Okay, this subunit, additional information, relative clauses. Do you know what relative clause is? Okay, do you know what relative clause is? Can anybody tell me? Have you studied about relative clause in your previous
No,
classes?
no, very well. If you have to result of your experience.
Okay, okay, such let's say WH words, okay, but they are not in question. If they join two or more sentences, okay, then they are known as relative clauses. Okay, relative clauses are joined with relative pronouns. They are known as relative pronouns. Okay, it is clear. We will describe today about the thing, basic concept about relative clause. Okay, now see what relative clause is. First of all, when two or more sentences are joined by relative pronouns like who, where, when, which, etc., it is known as relative clause. That is, relative clauses are joined by relative pronouns. There will be one main clause and next clause will be what? Relative clause. Okay. When main clause is joined by the relative pronouns like who, where, when, which, etc., then it is known as relative clause. Okay. It is what we do about let's say in relative clause. Okay, the major function of relative clause is to provide additional information to the main clause. Okay, there will be one clause, main clause, and there is another clause, that is relative clause, and the major function of a relative clause is to provide additional information to the main clause. Okay, to the noun mentioned in the main clause. Okay, it provides additional information. Okay. And now see here, consider, you need to consider here some uh, basic meaning aspects. Okay, that is joins. Okay, what joins what here? Okay, the thing that you might have known this earlier. Okay, now I like to tell in short. Okay, it is very much simple as well. Joins. Okay, something joins something there. Okay, now here, what, who joins what? Person. Okay, who joins person, and if the person is in what? Subject position. If the person is in subject position, that's why we join person by relative pronoun who. Okay, who is basically used for person, to join person. Okay, now where joins, where is equal to place means what? Where
Place.
joins Okay, where joins a place. If the place is repeated in two sentences given in the question, 2 or 3 sentences given in the question, then at that time we join these places by the relative pronoun where. Okay, where joins places. Okay, next one, when. When joins time. That is when
Time.
time is repeated in both sentences. Time is repeated. For that time, we join two sentences and we make a single sentence. Okay, at that time, when time is repeated, then we join two sentences with when. Okay, when refers to time actually. Where refers to place actually. Who refers to person basically in the subject position. Okay, now which next relative pronoun is which. They are frequently using relative pronouns, and which joins thing or animal.
Thing or
Okay, for things or for animals, if things are repeated or if animals are repeated there, if certain animal is repeated there in two questions, in two sentences, we use there the relative pronoun which. Okay, okay, you are clear now. Whose is what? Whose joins possessive cases or possessive case. For example, such possessive cases refer to apostrophe s. If noun is with apostrophe s, if person is with apostrophe s, for example, ram's car, ram's bag. Okay, in this way, whose bag, whose car, in this way. Okay, whose, let's say, joins possessive noun with possessive case. Okay, noun with possessive case. Okay, or person with possessive case, or his, her, their, such type of person. His home. Okay, his bag. Okay, his mother, whose mother we say. Okay, at that time, their, her. Okay, such type of, these are what, these are possessive cases, and such possessive cases are joined by which. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes,
now,
sir.
okay, you have to copy them out. And whom joins what? We, whom joins a person, and the person, if the person is in object position. Okay, not in subject position, but in object position. And frequently, I haven't given told here, but with whom and with which frequently prepositions come. At which, on which, at whom. Okay, by whom. So such type of prepositions come before which and whom. है योमा अलिकति ध्यान दिनुपर्ने कुरा प्रिपोजिसन्सहरु बोकेर आउँछ के when which comes and when whom comes frequently preposition may come. Okay, if there is no preposition and if there is a person in the object position, right, preposition छैन तर object position मा person आएको छ भने you can also join by who as well. त्यस्तो बेलामा who ले जोड्न पनि सक्छौ. If there is preposition, you have to use whom. Okay, whom will be better. At that,
Sir,
yes, please.
who र whom के सँगै आउन मिल्छ कि मिल्दैन नि?
Okay, they can come. मैले त्यही भने नि त, तिमीले त्यही सुन्नु बुझिनु है. प्रिपोजिसन आएको छ भने whom आउँछ अब्जेक्टमा, अब्जेक्टसँग प्रिपोजिसन आएको छ भने, अब्जेक्टसँग प्रिपोजिसन आएको छैन भने who सब्जेक्टमा पनि प्रयोग हुन्छ, अब्जेक्टमा पनि प्रयोग हुन सक्छ. Okay, there are two ways of doing for who and whom. है अहिले दुईटा तरिका छ, मैले त्यो दुईटा तरिका बुझाउँला, तिमी क्लियर हुन्छ अहिले है. Okay, when, okay, now did you copy them all? These are rules.
Yes.
Rules are very much important than the exercises. If you know the rules, then you can do hundreds of exercises. Okay, if you do only exercises, then what happens? You can do 5 or 6 exercises, and when 7th question will be given, then you will be confused. होइन, रुल भनेको त्यो हो. रुल जान्यो भने सबै हन्ड्रेड्स अफ सेन्टेन्सेस दियो भने पनि you can do easily. Okay, now next one is that's the rules. Okay, now you have to consider the rules, and so who is that? 124 Bimal has come there. He is too much late. How many of you are here? Okay, about 70. Okay, now rule is I like to move go with the rules without getting delayed because I have to give you one or two examples. Okay, examples. The rule is find out the repeated noun in both the sentences given. The first rule is that first of all you have to find out the repeated which noun is repeated in both the sentences given. Okay, find out the repeated noun in both the sentences given. Okay, you can underline them in the question. Okay, not in your answer. Okay, but in your question you can underline them. Okay, for your um, imagination. Okay, so find out the repeated noun in both sentences given. First, this is the first rule. Okay, next rule is then you have to follow the structure. Okay, structure. I have given you three structure. Except writing um, the rule in detail, the structure will work well. Okay, write up to the repeated noun of the first sentence. Okay, now see here. Structure is like this. Right up the here you have rule and structure together. That's why under rules I have put here the structure. Okay, the structure is rule based and there is also structure. Rule, there is the rule plus structure combination. That's why I have put structure under rules. Okay, the first thing is finding out the repeated noun in both sentences given. And let's say next one is the structure is right up to the repeated noun of the first sentence. First sentence, you see the first sentence and which is the repeated noun, we write up to that repeated noun only, and then you stop writing, you stop your writing. Then what you do, then you have to put comma there. Okay, here is comma, this comma is also structure, this comma is also structure. Then you put here what, you put comma there after writing up to the repeated noun. By saying at the first sentence you put here comma, comma. Okay, now after writing comma you have to use there what, wh word or relative pronoun. The relative pronoun will be used appropriately here. If let's say here repeated noun is person, then you write here who. If it is thing, you may write there which. Okay, which. If it is place, the repeated noun is place, you can write where here. Okay, where. Okay, plus then part of the second sentence, then you move to second sentence. Now okay, you leave first sentence there and you move to second sentence. Okay, second sentence. Okay, from the beginning, second sentence, but from the very beginning part of the second sentence, but you don't have to include there the repeated subject. Okay, repeated subject should be excluded. Repeated subject of second sentence needs to be excluded. Only the remaining part except the repeated subject will be copied from the very beginning. Okay, be clear. Okay, you have to copy out whatever is given there. Okay, if you are confused, then I'll explain that later as well. And now again here what, again here comma. Okay, here comma, and here you need to put comma here. Again comma comes here. Comma is also the part of your structure. Okay, structure. So plus part of first sentence if any. Okay, if there is some part left in the first sentence, we'll come back to the first sentence and we will finish our answer. Okay, this is the way we do about relative clauses. Okay, relative clauses. Copy.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right
So,
after the repeated noun of the first sentence, WH word plus part of the second sentence from the beginning, no repeated subject. Okay, and part of first sentence, if any, then we'll finish. Okay, we'll finish. Okay, now next one is if there is a preposition. I also told you it earlier. If there is a preposition with the repeated subject of the second sentence, we should put it before the WH word, okay, or relative pronoun. If there is a preposition with a repeated subject, preposition with a repeated subject of the second sentence, there will be preposition in the second sentence. Okay, there won't be preposition in the first sentence. Okay, that's we have to see the repeated noun in the second sentence, not in the. We don't have to guess from the first sentence. Okay, there should be the same repeated noun in the second sentence. Okay, we should put it before the WH word when we join the sentences with which or him. Okay, if we join the sentences with which or whom, frequently these two come with preposition. If they come with preposition, then you have to use with preposition. For example, in which, at which, from which, in this way. Okay, at whom, okay, from whom, in this way you have to use. Okay, clear? Okay, now let's move to the examples. Okay, we'll move to examples now. Okay, if you are clear about these rules, then you can do any sort of relative clauses, the exercises with relative clauses. Okay, now see here, Phil was an excellent driver. You can see your book. You can see your book and you can get the questions from there. Phil was an excellent driver. Okay, and next question is Phil's parade was covered in sweat. Phil was an excellent driver and Phil's parade was covered in sweat. Okay, what is the repeated noun here? What noun is the same in both of the sentences?
Phil.
Okay, Phil. Okay, Phil and that's a Phil's or Phil's forehead. Phil's. Phil and Phil's. And is what is Phil and Phil's? Is it a person or it is let's say thing?
Person.
Okay, person. Okay, person. And what is repeated there? Person subject, person object, or person possessive case. Person can be used in three different ways.
Possessive case, sir.
Good, because there is apostrophe yes. Apostrophe yes, it feels for it. There is possessive case. If there is possessive case, then what is the joining word?
Whose.
Certainly. Okay, it is whose. That's how we join these two sentences by using whose appropriately. And what is the first repeated noun there? First repeated noun in this first sentence?
Phil, sir.
Feel
Phil.
only. Okay, feel. Okay, I have underlined that as well. Feel and feels there. You have to mind on that very much. Okay, and right up to the repeated noun of the first sentence means what? You write only
Phil.
feel there, and you write over there feel
Whose.
and
WH word.
no,
W.
no, 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 no. Yeah, here I have shown here through my laser pointer.
Comma.
Comma. Okay, yes, sir. Comma. Then
WH word.
okay, WH word refers to there. What? Which one?
Whose.
Whose. Okay, whose. And part of the second sentence from the beginning, no repeated subject. Okay, no repeated subject or no repeated noun. Okay, no repeated noun. And there's a part of first sentence here, if any. Okay, in the same way, we'll let's do our answer. Now see, fill, comma, which fills is joined by which. Then move to second sentence. Second sentence, which forehead was that we do not write fields here. Okay, whose forehead was covered in sweat. Okay, and again comma
Part
here,
of first.
again
Comma.
comma here,
When.
and what do you do? You move to part of
Part of
first
sentence.
sentence, if any. If there is anything left in first sentence, yes, that is what was
Was.
an excellent driver. Okay, in this way,
Excellent.
Phil, whose forehead was covered in sweat, was an excellent driver. He was an excellent driver, but he also found a difficulty in driving such area. है त्यस्तो ठाउँमा गएर ड्राइभिङ गर्दा फिल जस्तो मान्छेलाई पनि गाह्रो भएको थियो उसलाई पसिना भएको थियो भनेर भनेको छ ओके फिल whose forehead was covered in sweat was an excellent driver okay excellent driver clear
Yes, sir.
okay okay like Julia hadn't wanted to come in the first place and the admiral had entrusted the papers to Julia. Okay, the admiral, this is the post of army. Okay, the admiral had entrusted the papers to Julia. Okay, what is the repeated noun here? I'll go insert.
Julia.
Okay, certainly. Okay, I have underlined. First of all, you have to find out the repeated noun in both the sentences given. See the rule there and do according to the rule. Okay, then you won't get confused. Okay, um, okay, Julia hadn't wanted to come to the first place. Now here, not only Julia, you have to see, you have to find out what preposition before what? Before Julia. Okay, what is Julia then? Person, place, a thing.
Person.
Again,
Person.
person. Okay, and what is repeated here? Subject is repeated in the second sentence or in object position it is repeated.
Object. Second goes object.
Okay, in the second sentence, the noun is repeated in the object position. Okay, if it is repeated in the object position, what you can do? What you can use? What?
Object मा आयो भने हुँदैन र सर.
Okay, okay, okay. You have to use whom. You can use whom there. Okay, if it is in object position, then you can use whom because why? Is it so? Because it is with the preposition to. It is with preposition to. If there were no preposition, then we could have used who as well. If we can use at that time, we can use who as well. है यदि टु अन यस्तो प्रिपोजिसन आएको छैन भने who को नै युज गरे पनि मिल्छ. ओके नाउ से नाउ
मेरोमा मात्र हो कि अरूमा पनि सुन्ने होइन सरको आवाज.
okay, are you, is my voice, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, they are well listening, and some of you, it might be because of your network problem. Okay, that's that is your friends are listening to my voice clearly. Okay, now Julia, to whom, okay, Julia has been repeated right up to the first repeated noun Julia, and then what you write here, what comma is here, and to whom because it is object position, it is in the object position, so you write Julia to whom. Now you move to the second sentence from the beginning, except the from the beginning, but no repeated subject or no repeated object, no repeated noun. Okay, you have to include there to whom the admiral had entrusted the papers. Okay, finished papers here up to this comma and hadn't. Now you move to the first sentence, hadn't wanted to come in the first place. Hadn't wanted to come in the first place, full stop, and then your answer is complete now. Sir, are you there? त्यहाँ हुनुहुन्छ सर? सर आउनु भएको छ?
आउनुभएको छैन सर.
यसो मिस कल हान्नु न तपाईँले है, म यहाँ यसो म डिस्कस गर्छु. Okay, okay, yes please, your any queries please, if you have any query then you can ask me.
Actually के सब्जेक्ट र हजुरले अघि अब्जेक्टमा के हुँदाखेरि फरक हुन्छ भन्नुभएको थियो नि हुन्छ उसको.
Deepika, okay, okay, Deepika. Now I'll tell you. You can put here who, okay, Julia. This can be answered as like this. Okay, Julia, who the admiral had entrusted the papers to. You can write to here as well. Okay, here. This is also another way of doing this. Okay, this can be, let's answer as here. If you put who here, if you find it easier, then you can also do this. Julia, who the admiral had entrusted the papers to. This too you can put it here, but you have to put it at any cost. Comma and hadn't wanted to come in the first place. In this way. But for which? तर यो which को लागि फेरि, okay, you don't have to do so. Okay, don't do. This doesn't sound good. है यसो सुन्दाखेरि पनि त्यति राम्रो देखिँदैन. From which, at which, in which, that sounds good. है त्यो चाहिँ राम्रो हुन्छ. For let's say who or whom, you can use preposition plus whom, or if you like to use who, then what you do, you put the preposition here. Julia, who the admiral had entrusted the papers to, hadn't wanted to come in the first place. Deepika, are you clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you tell me the answer again?
Julia.
By using who?
Julia, who the admiral had entrusted the people.
The papers.
To hadn't wanted to come in the first place.
Okay. Julia, who the admiral had entrusted the papers to, hadn't wanted to come in the first place. Okay. The job of a comma is to pause for some to pause for a very short moment. है जसले त्यो कमा आएको ठाउँमा हामी बोल्दाखेरि एकछिन रोकिनुपर्छ, रोकिएर बोल्नुपर्छ. Julia, in this way, to whom the admiral had entrusted the papers hadn't wanted to come in the first place. Okay, in this way. Okay, now you might have copied them. You can move to the next example. Alex had closed his eyes. Okay, you will do them. Question number 3 and question number 6. These 3 sentences question is there in question number 3 and 5. I think. Question number 3 and question number 5. I think they are in. There is no need to do 3 sentences question. Okay, if you like to try, then you can try out. Okay, otherwise only 2 sentences question will be given in your examination. है मात्र 2टा सेन्टेन्स भएको क्वेशन मात्र दिन्छ एक्जाममा, 3टा सेन्टेन्स भएको क्वेशन चाहिँ दिँदैन, because this is 1 mark that carries only 1 mark. Okay, 3 sentence question will be too long to carry 1 mark. Okay, now I'll stop my sharing here. The rest questions will be homework for you. Okay. Okay, I stopped my screen sharing here. Thank you, my dear students, for your active participation. I'm very much energized by your active participation. Okay, thank you very much, and I'll leave here. Have a good day to you all.